Hi, people, and welcome to Audacious Vibe. This is the platform that talks to young professionals all over the world about all manner of issues. We talk about career, we talk about marriage, we talk about relationships, we talk about business, everything and anything that concerns a young professional. We talk about it here, and we discuss it boldly, authentically, and in a godly manner. Our YouTube channel is Audacious Vibe, and our Facebook channel is Audacious Influencers. So you can go there, like our page on Facebook, and go to YouTube and subscribe to that channel. So welcome to this episode, this edition of Audacious Vibe. And today I am talking to a friend of mine. Been friends with her for a while. Lea, karibu sana.
Asante.
Introduce yourself to Audacious Influencers.
Okay. And hi everyone, my name is Lea Kiala. Kiala because Kiala is my husband. I am born again. I have two very beautiful daughters. The first one is Ateli. The second one is Ailani. Yeah, they are 5 and 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Lea, you've been married for how long?
This is our 6th year.
6 years already.
Yes.
It doesn't look like you've been married for 6 years.
I know.
What's the secret, first of all? You don't even look married, first of all. You have to convince people you're married. So you've been married for 6 years.
Yes.
Does it look like it's been a minute?
It doesn't look like it's been 6 years. I think when time truly goes very fast.
Yeah.
And especially when, well, people say that there's no right person, like a right person. But I think when you're married to someone who's your friend, someone who you truly get along with, it makes the journey shorter. It doesn't look like, it's been 6 years. It just looks like the other day.
Yeah. So just shortly, how did you and Steve meet?
Steve and I. So we went to the same primary school.
Primary school.
Yes.
Mulianza History Primary School.
No, don't mix issues. Ile shule enye chachi likes to make fun of, Kadhonzweni. It's called Kadhonzweni.
Oh wow.
Yes.
In Ukambani.
Yes. So we both went to Kadhonzweni, AIC, but he was a class.
It's a boarding school,
yes,
right?
It's a boarding school,
Yeah.
yeah. So he was a class ahead of me. So nikiwa class 6, he alikuwa class 7.
Yeah.
And ile tu kumwona, I was in the same class with his brother, his younger brother. So I just used to see him hivyo tu kwa shule. And then now way after primary, high school, around 2010, that's when now I officially met him. They had this reunion of his class, and since I was in Mombasa and they were in Mombasa, I just decided to join them.
Yeah.
Then now later I was called to KU. He was also in KU. And then coming from Mombasa, I didn't know many people in Nairobi, and he was the only friend I had then. Akaanza kunionyesha hizi streets, and the rest is history.
Wow. So there's a question that young people will always ask. They always ask, how do I get to know the one? How do I get to know that this is the right person for me? How did you know that Steve was the person for you?
Okay. So mine is funny in this sense. It may sound a bit spiritual.
Yes. You are born again, so I mean we will excuse the being spiritual bit.
Okay, so that time when we met, 2010. So we were at the beach, alikuwa na mabeshte zake, and I remember when I saw him and we were having this conversation, I told him, "Do you know you're going to be my husband?" He laughed.
Like from nowhere.
I just
Is it
that's what I'm saying, it's funny.
like God spoke to you, like you had a dream, or
No.
it was intuition?
I just felt it in my spirit. And I told him, you know, you're going to be my husband. He just laughed. He laughed it out, and na ikaisha hivyo. It
So
was
wait,
just-
so Leah, those things are actually they are actually real. That you can, that God can, you know, you can feel that this is the person, this is the real person.
yes,
And then
that instinct,
yeah.
yes, it's real. It is.
Wow.
Yes, it is.
And then did that happen immediately after
No.
after?
No,
Uh-huh.
we were friends because we met in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
We got married in 2015.
5 years later.
Yes, and
5, 6
in
years
between,
later. Yes.
there were a lot of kuachana, kurudiana. You know, we were young, we were in school. So hapo katikati kulikuwa tu a lot. I call them shenanigans. Zilikuwa mingi hapo, but yeah, 2015, that's when we got married.
So how is it like? How is it like being married in this generation of ours? People do not have so much faith in marriage. People say, you know, marriage is not what it used to be. In fact, when you say you're happily married, people normally say you're just pretending. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
a phase.
yeah. Yes.
How is it like for you being married?
Honestly speaking, I would say it's, so how would I put it? First of all, who are you getting married to? And then what is the intention that is bringing two people together? Because I personally feel nowadays where most people go wrong is the intention of why you're getting married, you see. So there is a purpose to which two people, like when God formed marriage, he formed it for a reason, to fulfill a certain purpose. So when your husband and you are coming together,
Yeah.
what's that purpose that you're going to? And purpose doesn't have to be something any out of this world. By purpose I mean what are the things like you two people have in common. For example, I was sharing with another couple and I was telling them there are things my husband and I share in common. I'll give an example, like giving. We are both generous people.
Yeah.
So you see, if I go to an event, even without consulting him,
Yes.
and I give a certain amount, I'm sure even when I come back and tell him, by the way, I went to an event and I gave 1,000, he'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
Because he has the same heart as mine.
There are points of convergence.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then there are those that you can't say, you know, because you know your husband will be like, ama your wife will be like, oh, mendo huko umepeana pesa, you didn't consult me. So there are those things that you need to be, okay, si lazima zikuwe common, but at least you are in the same line. So I would say probably just having someone who's your friend, because love is not enough. So
Sorry?
love is not enough.
Love is Leah, love. These three remain: hope, faith, and love.
But it is not enough.
What do you mean?
It's not
Substantiate.
enough,
What do you mean?
because
Uh-huh.
reality kwa ground itafika place.
What do you mean? Love is. Uh-huh.
Itafika place.
Yeah.
I mean, it becomes real. Where now love mazi unaamka siku moja nika love hakuna. So what remains?
Does it end or does it grow cold? It just.
I think it becomes real. The love becomes real.
Yeah.
You know, haishangi but imekuwa real.
Yeah.
So ikikuwa real, if this person is your friend,
Yeah.
there are things that you can tolerate from a friend. You see, so if it's your friend, utaendelea kumtolerate. Na mta grow out of it, you see. So I personally feel like purpose is very important
Yeah.
when you're entering
When
in a
you're
marriage.
entering marriage.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your two children. How has you being a mother changed your life? First of all, has it changed your life?
Yes.
How has it changed your life?
Being a mother, first of all, has been the best
And first of
thing.
all, we were just saying before we started the conversation, you don't look like a mother of two daughters.
Thank you for the compliment.
Whatever it is you're doing,
I
maybe
continue doing.
we will come back and you share it with a few people who need to hear it.
Okay.
How has it changed you being a mother of two?
Okay. Being a mother, first of all,
Being
has
a mother,
been
yes.
has been the best experience that I've ever had. It has its high moments,
Yeah.
its low moments. For me, it has changed my life sana. First of all, my kids nimewafuatanisha. So when the first one was 1 year, I was expectant with the second one. So
Wow.
their age difference is 1 year 9 months. You see, so they're literally twins. And so, like, the first one was born in 2016, the other one was born in 2018. So between 2016 and mpaka huyu mdogo akafika, tuseme tu mpaka 2019, those 3 years were years of like finding myself. Like, I came to know strengths I didn't know I have. I came to know I am like patient. Like, it brought out things in me that I didn't know I had.
Yeah.
But it's been an amazing experience. And then also it's pushed me to leave employment, by the way.
Yeah.
Because you're there, you're employed. Mkubwa ako mgonjwa, ameenda alikuwa play groups. So ameenda amekuwa msick, ameletea mdogo homa. So niko job, nimeitisha leave. By the time leave days imeisha, huyu mdogo pia amekuwa mgonjwa. So I was not consistent with work.
Yeah.
And of course my delivery became very poorly. Ikafika time nikajiambia mimi hapa nitakuja kufutwa. So I really need to look for a plan B, So by the way, it really pushed me to leave employment. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about your schooling. You said that you were in KU. What did you study?
I did economics and statistics. I say it na nasikia nini damu ina.
Why?
Statistics, my friend.
Is it something that you wanted to do, or is it the system that that pushed you into economics and statistics?
Sasa niseme ukweli ama niseme ile ukweli?
Sema tu ukweli kabisa.
So, I'm good in math.
Yes.
From kitambo. Lakini sasa I didn't want to study in Mombasa. Totally, like I was tired of just being confined in the same place. And then I used to see, like, in Nairobi vitu zina happen, so I really wanted to come to Nairobi. But my guardians were for the opinion of either I study in Mombasa or Eldoret.
Yeah.
Mi nikasema hapana, lazima nikuje Nairobi. And my elder sister was also in Nairobi. So what I did, I looked for a course that is only in Nairobi. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is how I landed.
That's how you ended up
doing that course. But I wanted to do economics.
Yeah.
Pure economics. But sasa pure economics ilikuwa Mombasa, ilikuwa Moi. So I decided hapana.
Yeah.
And then KU had just introduced economics and statistics. So that's how I landed there.
So now the reason why I asked about your schooling is because you're in business.
Yes.
So first of all, introduce your business to us.
So our business, because I have a business partner, her name is Sarah. So our business is called Baby Shoes Palace. Yes, and we deal with kids' shoes only. And we've just introduced kids' school bags, but we are known for the kids' shoes.
In Nairobi?
Yes, in Nairobi.
Is it a physical shop in Nairobi?
Yes.
Where in Nairobi is it?
We are located along Moi Avenue, just opposite the old Ibrahim's, at a mall called Sawa Mall, second floor, shop B16.
Okay. So you studied economics and statistics.
Yes.
Were you employed before, or did you go straight into business?
No, I was employed. I was employed for like 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. after campus.
And what drove you from employment to, I know you've mentioned a bit of it that had something to do with
the children.
with your children.
Yeah.
But other than that, is there anything else that pushed you out of employment and into business?
Well, of course, the kids is the main factor. But again, I think I got to a place I became frustrated. Frustrated in this sense, I'm spending a lot of hours at work. No time for my kids. Again, the kids, I didn't have time for kids. I didn't have time for my family. I mean, I leave home very early. I'm stuck in traffic. And then I didn't like the fact that my life had to revolve around the job. So in this sense, so if I'm working maybe, let's say, Westlands, Riverside, I have to move somewhere near so that, you know, I'm closer to my place of work. So it disrupts a lot. If I'm changed jobs, I'm taken to Mombasa Road. Now I start thinking Ruaka is too far. I need to now start moving towards, you see. So I didn't like that. And then I got so frustrated. I wake up very early in the morning. I spend a lot of time in traffic. I get to work. My mind is not, it's so distracted. I've left a young child at home. And then I'm having constant issues with house girls again because venye wamekaribiana sana watoto. So house girl unaamka asubuhi anakwambia naacha job, you know, sa hiyo boss wako amekukall 1 million calls. In as much as your employer wants to be understanding, inafika mahali hata pia wewe unajiambia hata pia umezidi. You know. So those things are the ones that pushed me, nikafika mahali nikajiambia no, it's too much now.
So at what point in these 4 years did you decide this is enough? And how was the transition? Because you one of the things young people have a struggle with is that I want to leave my job, but my job is the one that has been paying my bills. At least you were married by the time you were leaving your job.
Yes.
But how did you maneuver that? That you want to leave your job, there is an income that comes from your job. How would you maneuver that? How did you maneuver that?
Okay, so I left formal employment 2018. That's when, no, sorry. I left in 2019.
Okay.
2019 October. So Lani was born in, now the younger child was born in 2018. So in that, between 2018, by the time I'm reporting back to work after the maternity, that's when now I started feeling that pressure of sina your time, you know. And so we had started something online with my business partner. So like the business had already started online before. We were both employed at that time. We were both employed but running it online. So if we have deliveries, we just maneuver a way of doing the deliveries. Starting of 2019, my business partner Sarah left her employment. So she was doing most of the deliveries, you know, and stuff like that. Now, we made a strategy. When now I started feeling, and then, sorry, in where I was working, by that place, I won't mention the employer, but it was a very good working environment. They were truly understanding. But then nikajiambia, kama hii place niko job, nimeshindwa kukaa hapa. I don't think there's anywhere else naweza andikwa kazi.
With the environment that is easy, sort of.
Yes, it was so flexible. It was just good, you know. But then mimi ndo I think nilikuwa tuna mashida mingi za my stability with the kids and the family, ndo nikafeel hapana. So 2019 around August kukaanza kukua na rumor job that they are planning to lay off some guys. And I was 100% sure nitakuwa hapo.
That's
Number 1, Roman 1. I was so sure. So I started
You are
now.
not an essential service.
No, no, no. Nikajiambia nitaambiwa I'm redundant because I knew how my boss alijaribu kuni understand kabisa kabisa. So I told my business partner Sarah, I told her now ni October, because barua zilikuwa zinapeanwa October. That was in August. Nikamwambia sasa we need to plan. We need to I won't leave employment and we continue being online. We need a physical shop. So she started asking me, now where are we going to get the money? Nikamwambia usijali, we will find a way. So since I was employed, bado ningeweza kuchukua loan. You see, now that's the advantage of being employed.
Yes.
So I went to my SACCO. I was saving with a SACCO. So I went to my SACCO and I borrowed some money. And then Sarah, also on her side, she also got some money and we were able to put money together.
Yeah.
And that's how we were able to like get a physical location and we just wanted to start. So by the end iliran I think for 2 months, because I remember I would leave work, jioni pass by the shop. So by the time I was leaving work ya October venye nilipewa barua, hata venye nilipata sikushtuka. So by the time October inafika,
Also barua ilikam.
Barua ilikam. Yes,
you were right that ulikuwa Roman 1 number 1.
I knew I was Roman 1 number 1.
Yeah.
So by the time the letter was coming, I was so prepared. So I just said deuces and went now to the business.
There's something that you've said that is very important for young people to hear, because there are very many young people. We keep encouraging young people, do not wait to be employed. Start your own thing, or be a creator and start your own employment. You are saying you were employed, but you had a strategy on how to transit from your workplace and into being an entrepreneur. Because many young people or many people will wake up one day and quit their jobs because they are passionate. They are saying, I have this dream, I want to sell shoes in Nairobi and I'm going to become S&L. In fact, I am going to knock them off the market. What would you say to those people? Driven by passion.
First of all, you have to be driven by passion. That is very important.
That's key. That's
is
important.
Very key.
Yes.
But there is passion and there is reality. You see, especially if you have a family, lazima ufanye mahesabu vizuri. You know, in as much as you have an understanding spouse, lazima pia ikue a soft landing for the family. You need to put yourself in a space whereby you continue to do the same things that you are doing for the family.
Yeah.
Inaweza kuwa maybe imereduce kidogo, lakini you don't stop doing them completely. So hey, young people, even me I'm young, sijafika bracket ya
You're still very young. You're still very young.
Very young.
Yes.
We had this person that used to at least help us okay, si sana, but alitusaidia kidogo na advice ya business.
A mentor of sorts.
Yeah, a mentor of sorts. And what alituambia was, when now in your mind you've decided you're leaving an employment to follow a passion, fanya hesabu yako vizuri. Just make your move, calculate your move. Ujiambie nataka kuacha a job in the next 1 year. So between now and 1 year, what do I need to do? If ni research you need to do for the business, if ni capital you need to gain, you are employed. So do you need to start saving in a SACCO? Because at work, the reason as to I was able to access a loan is because I was saving in the SACCO.
And we will get to the factor of saving, because it's also a very important
It's very
factor,
important.
yes.
So I knew if I get, let's say I want maybe 300,000. So I knew kwa SACCO lazima nifikishe hii amount ndio iweze kunipea that amount. And I also knew kwa hii SACCO I'm joining it because I have friends who I know can guarantee me.
Yes.
So getting a loan would be very easy, you know. So lazima you have to really plan yourself. You need to have a clear strategy of how you're going to approach this business. Otherwise, it will fail terribly.
You've also talked about the fact that you started S&L when you were still employed.
Yes.
there are very many young people who say, I am employed, I can't do anything else. So they are stuck to, if you are a cashier in a bank, you're just a cashier in the bank, or whatever it is they do, that is just what they do. Is it possible for you to be employed and to do something else? Because the way I look at it, at one point, your main gig right now was your side hustle at some point. Is it possible for someone to have a productive side hustle?
Okay, I'll answer it in two sections.
Yes.
Yes, it is possible, and yes, it's not possible.
It is and it isn't.
Yes, it's both sides.
Yes.
I would say it is possible when it's a strategy to move you out from employment. But it is not sustainable if you are doing both two things, like concurrently, like you're fully employed and you're in business, one will fail.
Yeah.
But if you're in business as a strategy to exit, it will work. Yeah, because I've seen many people who are employed try to run side hustles. Haziwakingi.
Because of what? Because
Your time
is limited. Yes.
Your time is limited, and your effort bado iko job. Haiko kwa
And your
biashara.
attention is divided.
It's very divided.
Yeah.
And business needs 100% concentration.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you talked about savings, that you were saving in a circle. One other thing that young people always talk about when you tell them, they tell you, I have this great business idea. I want to start this and that. So you ask them, what's your problem? They say, I don't have capital. Tell us about capital and starting a business.
First of all, capital doesn't have to be 1 million to uanze biashara. No. You can start with as little as you can. It's just that many people have this. Of course, in a business, uko na ile dream business. Like if you want to put up a salon, you want this mega beautiful salon, ama kitu kama hiyo. But you can start small, kwanza, with whatever you have.
How do you balance? How do you balance between my vision is that I want to have this spa, this barber shop and spa that has 9 branches across the country, you know, and I want even to do it in East Africa and all. And there's this thing I have in my head. Now you're seated here, you're telling me young people need to learn how to start small.
Yes.
So how small is small? And how small is small?
Small is
And be practical. Be practical,
Yes.
because you've been there.
So I will give then an example of our journey.
Yes.
So for us, our small was we knew what we wanted. We knew to date we have not yet achieved our bigger picture. You know, our vision and our dream is ni kubwa sana.
Yes.
And this is October will be 3 years in the business. So where we started from, we were like, okay, first of all, we are employed, and we have seen a need in the market. How much do you have? How much can we start with? So we did our research. Tukaona ile pesa ita make sense ni 100,000. You see. So I looked for 50, Sarah looked for 50.
Okay.
You see, tukaleta pamoja. And the reason as to why I'm saying you can start with whatever is, even kwa salon. Let me use an example of a salon.
Yes.
If you can't start by opening, nowadays I see people have been creative. Like me, my kids wanasongewa hapa kwa nyumba. I don't take them to the salon. So this lady comes here, anawaosha, anawafanyia blow dry, you know, na nawasonga, and I'll pay. And you see, I will pay for her fare. She came all the way from wherever. I'll pay for her fare.
Yeah.
So this other person is seated at home waiting, anunue blow dry, anunue nini,
na achukue shop,
aanze salon,
na ipige deko.
You see, anasema
na anunue nini za kuosha.
Anasema now me I'm waiting to get 500,000.
That's why I have not started.
That's
because I don't
started.
have capital.
Sasa 500,000 saa hii na hii economy inatoka wapi? You see.
So now you started, your partner gave 50K, you
Yes.
gave 50K.
Yes.
Just to show young people, how much is S&L valued at right now? Rough figure. Don't give us the exact figure. Because we want them to understand that something that is worth this much can start with 100,000.
Yes.
Even if you're going to give us, it's between this and this.
Okay.
How much are you valued at?
As at last year, December, we were valued between 5 and 9 million.
5 and 9 million. Ladies and gentlemen,
That was last year.
that was the last year. And mark you, last year, people, last year was the corona year.
Yes.
Last year was the COVID year. S&L is valued at 9 million.
Yes.
Let's take the high figure because we are people of faith. We don't go with low figures.
Yeah.
But that started with 100,000.
Yes.
So it is possible for you to start your business with whatever it is
Yeah.
that you have. You do not have to wait until you have 5 million for you to start whatever it is that you want to start. As long as you have a dream, if it is 100,000 that you have, if it is 50,000 that you have, you can start from a certain point.
Yes.
So the importance of savings, Leah, because that's where your capital came from.
Yes.
Tell us.
It's, saving is very important. Like, I never truly used to get it. Like, in fact, I think it's this person that told us, you know, you can, since you're in employment, why don't you save in a sacco?
Yeah.
Hata kama ni 500, you know, you can, because ukiwa employed, pesa yako imehesabika to the last you've been employed, you know.
Yes, I've been employed.
You've counted for it mpaka the last shilling, you know.
Yes.
So alikuwa anani encourage whatever amount, eka uko tu 500, eka, and then the best way of saving ni ile unaweka standing order. You don't even touch that money. By the time it hits your account, ilishakatwa mali ilikatwa.
These are the things. You see, we're talking about very simple things, but these are the things that young people need to hear,
Yes.
not want to hear.
Yeah, yeah.
They need to hear that mshahara si ya kupiga sherehe, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen. Mshahara si ati mshahara inakaa hivi unapiga sherehe 1 week hivi ishaisha.
Yeah.
Leah says standing order. You know, it is the same way we encourage people in church. If you can do a standing order for your tithe, do a standing order for your savings.
Yes. Yes.
So this person encouraged you, why don't you start saving?
Yes.
And the amount that you were saving compared with what you were earning, what percentage would you call that?
Percentage. Okay. It was this, I was saving, I think I was doing 1,000 per month. Like, I don't know what percentage that was, but I was not saving much.
Yeah.
Because you see, I've told you that mshahara inakwanga, in fact, by the time ina hit account, imeisha.
Yes.
Because you have so many
other things,
uko huko
yes.
sijui na madeni, uko na madeni, uko na manini. So by the time inafika 5th, umerudi zero.
Yes.
You don't have anything.
Yeah.
So I think I was doing 1,000 monthly, yeah.
And you were saving in a SACCO. Why? Why didn't you have a savings account? What's the difference?
For me, what I saw is the SACCO at least wako a bit lenient. Their interest rates were lower compared to the bank.
Yeah.
And then while kupea loan, it was a bit faster than bank.
Yeah.
Alafu the flexibility, even in terms of repayment, it's not something that will break your bone or anything.
Yeah.
It's repayment yake was very friendly. So even when I took the loan, the repayment was, something that you can really handle.
Yeah. So we again had this conversation with Pastor M. He said the way to be wealthy is number 1 to earn money, but number 2 is to understand that the money that you earn is actually a seed. It's not that's not the reward. It's just a seed that your employer gives you so that you can do something with it. You have talked about another important thing at the start of the journey of S&L. You have talked about the strategy factor. you guys sat down and developed a strategy.
Yes.
How important is that in starting off in business?
A strategy is important because it gives you a clear plan. It's like you're working kutoka mwisho kuja mbele. So you start with the end, then you come now telling yourself, for us to get there, what do we need to do now?
Yeah.
Sai tuko wapi? What do we have? Sai. We want our business, like the vision for SNL is for it to be known. We want to get to a level where now it's a brand, like the way we have Nike. You know, that's our vision,
Yes.
like our long-term vision. But now we can't say hatuwezi. You know, we have not grown to that level. You can't wake up one day and become Nike. You can't wake up one day and become Adidas. So say what we are
Say that
doing.
again, Leah, for young people to hear. You cannot wake up one day.
You can't wake up
Yeah.
one day and become Nike or
Yeah.
Adidas. Adidas took years to grow a brand. You create a shoe, inakuwa mbaya, you go back.
Yes.
You create another one, inakuwa mbaya, you go back. You see. So where we started, tulianza chini, like ground zero. And let me tell you, we told ourselves very clearly, there is no business you will do that has not been done. Ati sasa wewe ndio yako,
There is nothing
yako
new
ndio
under the earth.
nothing. Ati sasa yako ndio unique, utaingia kwa market, ugonge market.
Yes.
You have to have a strategy. Kuna how many, watu wangapi wanauza vitu za watoto hii Kenya? So many, so many. Do you know it, like in part of the strategy there is research, such that when you're coming in, what difference are you making in the market? Ndio ukuje ujulikane. So
Yes.
what different thing are you doing? Like I will tell you, there is no shop sahi, whether online or physical, that I don't know of, and inauza vitu za watoto.
All of them.
All of them mention. I
And
will
that
tell
is
you,
part of research.
that is
for
part
you.
of research.
Yeah.
You must know. I will tell you, if you just mention a name, I'll tell you, are you eco online? I'll tell you they have this and this followers on
So you
Instagram.
can't be lazy.
You can't. Imagine you can't be lazy. You cannot. The strategy has to be very clear.
Yes.
Because business huwezi lala.
So kama unataka kuuza nyanya lazima ujue maneno ya nyanya.
Lazima ujue ukipanda, unapanda 1 acre na uko msituni. Zinatoka aje uko msituni zikifikia nini? Hauna gari.
Yeah.
So what is taking you there? Unapanda uzie nani? You see. So you need to have a very clear strategy.
Was your strategy written down, or did you just brainstorm and you have it in your heads, or did you have to sit down literally and say this is our written strategy for SNL?
It's not only written down, it's like a pamphlet.
Wow.
Yes, it's just that ungeniambia mapema ningewatolea muone.
Did someone teach you this, or how did you know?
Interestingly enough, now that part no one taught us. But again, being a person of faith,
Yes.
I'm very that scripture that says write your vision
Habakkuk.
to
Yes.
on a scroll, that in due time it may be established.
Yes.
I'm a person who believes in writing, whether being prayers, whether being whatever. I am strong on writing.
Yes.
So when we were writing down the strategy and the vision for our business, we sat down with my business partner and we wrote it down from who we want our clients to be to how we want to be known. Just like that. We wrote it down and we printed it and we put it on a pamphlet. Tunajiambianga siku moja tutakuja kuitoa.
Yeah.
But we've never like revisited it, but we know what we
But
wrote.
it is written.
But it is written.
It
yes.
is there.
Yes.
Would you encourage young people who want to start business, to do that, to sit
It's
down and write
scripture.
down their vision?
Yeah, it's scripture, and the word of God is life. The word of God ikienda, ikitumwa, it doesn't go back until it fulfills what it was sent to do.
Yes.
So it's scripture. As long as you write, there's power in writing.
Yeah.
It has to be that way. You won't forget, because again the enemy steals ideas, but when
Yes.
it's written down, siku moja unaweza kaa chini ujiambia, by the way, this was our initial idea. So what changed?
Yeah.
What changed along the way? So it's very important to write it down.
So, what is your profiling? What is your clientele profiling? What is your customer base? Because when you sat down, you decided you want to do shoes. First of all, let's even start there. Why baby shoes?
Okay. So there was this time we were going on holiday with my business partner's family
Yeah.
to Mombasa. That time actually was maybe almost 1 year. And let me tell you, we looked for shoes. Hey, tulitafuta viatu tukachoka. And not that hakuna viatu. Just that we were not getting what we wanted.
Exactly what you
Yeah,
want.
so we were looking for good shoes. Sikuwa nataka tuende Mombasa, tunapatana watoto kama 50 wako na the same
Wow,
shoe.
yeah.
You see. Tukatafuta. We got tired. Anyway, we just bought whatever we saw ya kwanza, and then we were not getting at variety, you know. So we went to Mombasa. That was in 2018. Ikianza 2018 ikianza. So my business partner Sarah, she's very good. She's been in marketing and sales for over 5 years.
Yeah.
That's like the kind of job she was doing.
Yes.
So she told me, by the way, ile time tulikuwa tunaenda Mombasa, we really looked for shoes. So how about I'm thinking of starting to sell shoes. The idea was hers first, you see. And she told me, what do you think about it? And I told her, that's a very good idea, go for it, nini, you know. And I started helping her with research. So she's just a friend.
Yeah.
So I was just helping her with research, nini. And then at some point I was telling her, by the way, so we do the business together. And then she was like, yeah. In fact, I wanted to tell you, we do the business together, just that I didn't know how to ask you because we are friends. And there's this thing that people say, doing a business with your friends.
Don't mix.
Don't mix business and
yes, do
friendships.
not mix.
Yeah,
Probably will go, I don't know where, south.
Exactly.
Is that a myth? Or is it,
No, it's,
how is it for you?
it's true. It's actually true. I think it's just because we don't mix issues. Business
When
has
it's business, it's
it's
business.
Whether tumekosana ama hatujakosana, biashara lazima tuchape.
Yes.
We really separate issues. So that's how S&L, now that's how it began. We started doing our research. So it came out of the need of good shoes. Of kiatu tu inakaa poa ya mtoto, kiatu unique ya mtoto.
Yeah.
So that's where the need came. And then now when we were writing our strategy, we told ourselves, okay, who do we want to sell our shoes to?
Yes.
Do we want a common person? Do we want who do we want? So we said there are already many people doing or selling to everyone, but there's is it called a niche that has been left?
Yes.
A niche that has been left for a certain class of people that has not yet been tapped. So can we tap that market? So what does it take for us to tap that market? Yes.
You've said something that I've just picked, and I've had it before, especially when business mentors are talking to people who want to start business. They tell them, do not start a business simply because you love the business.
Yes.
Like there are people who start, they start selling shoes because I love shoes, so I'm gonna sell shoes.
Yeah.
You, on the other hand, you are looking at the need in the market.
Yes.
You are looking at what is it that people need.
Yes.
Not necessarily your interest in
Yes.
shoes,
Yes.
but you are looking at
At a
what
need.
you at a need. How important is that, as opposed to I want to sell clothes because I love clothes. As opposed to there is a need in the market. In business, how does that affect sales?
You see, it's okay to love doing something.
Yes.
I mean, but by the time you're satisfying a need, there has to be that passion and loving that interest. But then loving something or a passion towards something is not enough. You have to satisfy a need. And that is why unapata mimi nimefungua biashara, wewe unakuja, you copy exactly what I'm doing. Mimi I'm selling, you are not selling. So you close down. You are like, biashara ni ngumu. Okay, yes, ni ngumu, but you close down. You're like, Miss Party clients, where is everyone coming to her? You see, so you have to satisfy a need, because whatever is lacking, your people wanataka. So if you tap whatever is, and it's not very easy again identifying a need. Your ears have to be like this, and your eyes have to really be open.
Yeah.
You have to be a person who interacts with whatever is happening day to day. So ndio uweze kujua what do people really want.
The importance of social media, because this generation, everyone is on social media. Majority of people who live in town have access to internet. How has social media and www, how has that been for you? How big is it for you and your business?
Social media it's powerful.
Because this generation only uses social media for Facebook,
Instagram,
for Instagram, for TikTok, for for Twitter, and very few of them get paid for being on TikTok. Very few of them get paid for being on Instagram or YouTube or whatever. For you, I have just noticed that you have a heavy presence on Instagram.
Yes.
Is it worth it? Does it drive sales, or is it a show?
Okay. Instagram is powerful. We have a physical shop, yes, but 99.999% of our sales come from Instagram.
Wow.
That is how powerful Instagram is.
So if there is no physical shop, yes, the physical shop is there. But if today, like last year, there was COVID, so you basically closed,
Yes,
yet you still sold.
Yes.
Is that as a factor of Instagram? Is that as a factor of social media?
Yes. For us, by the way, so okay, we are very heavy on Instagram.
Yes.
Not like any other place. So Instagram is, I mean, everything for us. That's where we sell. I mean, we have a physical shop because, well, you can't just be online and you're growing. We started online, but we open a shop. So we'll have walk-ins, yes, here and there. But even those that are coming to the shop, wametoka Instagram.
Wamewaona Instagram.
Yes, yes. So it would be very rarely would we find just a client roaming around in town and decided to just, well, we get maybe, but in a day maybe one or two. But Instagram, people will be like, I saw you on Instagram. Yeah. So most of our clients come from Instagram.
So what would you tell young people today who have something they do and they haven't looked at social media like that? They haven't looked at social media like something that would be a marketing tool for them. What would you tell them?
I tell them to wake up. They don't know what power that there is on those social media spaces.
Yeah.
As long as you use it rightfully.
Yes.
As long as you know how to display your products, because again, there is a way to handle Instagram. It's not, and this I was taught by my business partner.
Yeah.
There's a way you handle Instagram, there's a way you post, there's a way you do all these things. You just don't wake up and start posting no, there's a way you do it. There's a
specific way that will drive traffic.
Yes, there's a way you need to, like, for example, for us guys, we sponsor every day our page.
Yes.
We sponsor every single day to get more traffic. We use hashtags, so Instagram is very powerful, and if anyone wants to start a business, well, there are those who would swear by Facebook. We tried Facebook, ikatushinda. Facebook ilitushinda, but we find Instagram being very easy. So as long as you've put yourself out there vizuri,
Yes.
you will sell.
Okay. That's good. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to take a short break because I am thirsty. We will be back in a few minutes. When we come back, Leah, we will be talking about your faith and how that affects business. We also want to tell us whether as a Christian it is okay for you to make money. At what extent should you make money? How does it affect your relationship with God and family matters? So, taking a short break, tutarudi in a few minutes. Welcome back to Audacious Vibe. My name is Titus. I am seated today with Leah. We've been having a conversation around young professionals, career, business, relationship, everything. We have talked about so much. And want to go on and talk about, I said we were going to come back and we were going to talk about your faith. And how that affects business. How would you say you being a born-again Christian affects you being a young professional and being in business?
Okay, so it affects because there are certain, of course, beliefs that I have by the virtue of that I'm born again. There are things that I do that maybe someone else may not do. For example, there are certain deals I won't get myself into, and it's very interesting. Once you start doing business, biashara zingine ziukupata. Yeah, like unaweza jipata tu kuna kadil mahali, you know, I mean huku nje there are so many opportunities. Once just when you step your foot outside, you'll get other opportunities. So there are other deals that sometimes come, and just because I'm a Christian, or my faith the way it is, I just can't. And see ati I'm saying this ati sasa niko confined. It's just that it's a personal decision, and it's something I'm happy to do. It's something I'm very comfortable with. I'm not saying ati sasa I wish ningezifanya. No. It's something that I'm okay not doing.
There's a question that I have asked everyone who's come to Audacious Vibe, because most of the people, I think all of the people who've come to Audacious Vibe are in business in one way or another. And I've asked them, what is this thing with Christians that we don't seem to bring our Sunday into our Monday to Friday or Monday to Saturday? It looks like there are religions that have successfully done that. Let me give an example. Our Muslim brothers,
Yes.
they'll shut shop and go to the mosque. They don't care how many you are in the shop. 1 p.m. Muadhini
Ikilia
akitoa adhana wanaenda wapi? Mosque.
msikiti.
Hindus, you walk into a Hindu shop, they will have their display of their gods everywhere. For us Christians, do we take our God, our Jesus, to S&L between Monday and Friday? Or is your Jesus a Sunday Jesus?
I personally think, let me now talk on my own behalf.
Yes.
Well, first of all, as Christians, I think we don't do such a good job when it comes to maybe displaying our faith or bringing our faith to our business place. But personally, if there's, for example, there's a routine that I have in terms of prayer, spending time with God, and that doesn't get interfered with just because I'm running a business. If I have a prayer meeting or if I have something in church I'm doing, I have to do it, you see. So I really think it truly depends on your relationship and your personal commitment with God, that you're able to set aside your business and do this, like, you know, like seek God or bring God to the business. I believe it's personal commitment. That one has to be personal. Yeah.
And you've talked about you being a Christian. There are deals that you will get that will come your way that you will not be able to take.
Yeah.
Have you found it difficult? Have you found it, is it easy or is it difficult for you to be in business and for you to sometimes say no because I am a born again Christian, I can't do this because this kind of a deal will compromise my faith?
Personally, I've not found it difficult because, I mean, I believe it's God who gives.
Yeah.
And it's God who takes. So God has a way of just bringing every opportunity. I mean, everything that I have, it's God given. Of course, I've put effort, I have worked for it, but it's God given, you see. So I won't cry over an opportunity that I know very well will compromise my faith, because I know God will just bring another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are, your values are rooted, your Christian values are rooted also in your business.
Yes.
Is that deliberate for S&L? For you and your partner, have you deliberately said that the Christian values that we hold then will also be entrenched in our business?
Yes. So the beauty about also my business partner, Sarah, she's also born again.
Yes.
So it's also very easy for some of the decisions that we make. For example, when we were opening our shop, before the first client stepped foot into that shop, we dedicated the shop.
Yeah.
So we called our pastors and our husbands, and then we came, did prayers inside the shop. And then when we order stock, when it comes in, we pray for the stock.
Yes.
Like, God, as we open this stock, we present it to our clients. May it be what they expect. May they buy, you know. We give tithe.
So this before you even get to tithe. So these are not, these are practical things that that you do, that you get stock.
Yes.
So you get say 1,000 pieces of shoes.
Yes.
You will dedicate them.
Yeah, before we open, we'll pray over the shoes.
You will pray over them.
Yes.
And how has that been for you? How does it work?
For us, it works. Amazingly enough, it works. I mean, and that's why we usually say, like, even in our business, it's just God that has favored us. We put in the work, but everyone is working. Everyone is working hard. So what sets you apart? There has to be that God factor for you to get to that notch higher, because you need that favor with people. You need that, you know, and we've gotten a lot of favor from our clients, from our partners, and by partners I mean the people that maybe help us to, like, influencers who help us push our products. We've gotten also a lot of favor from those people. So we'd find other people telling us, how did you approach this person? Did you really pay them? And stuff like that. And we're like, by the way, we can't even explain it. It's just God's favor. Yeah. You know. So favor, it's what sets you apart from anyone else. And for us in our business, I mean, God, we really, we know, and the clients that have been with us long enough, they know how much we are rooted in God and how much we value God. Yes.
And before I cut you short, you were saying you also tithe.
Yes, we do. We tithe.
As a business, not as
business.
Individuals.
We tithe both.
You tithe, so you tithe as a layer.
Yes.
And you tithe as SNL.
Yes.
Why do you tithe?
Okay.
Why do you tithe? Because I personally think I am a pastor. And I am pastor in charge of administration and finance. I personally think that most of the people in business tithe individually. They don't tithe
As a business.
as a business. So why do you do both?
Because I am paid a salary
Yes.
by my business. So I just take it as nimelipwa mshahara. So I have to tithe my salary.
Yes.
I just look at it as the way I was employed. So my employer, yeye kama yeye alikuwa anatoa tithe, maybe angetoa tithe, na mimi pia being nimereceive salary yangu, I will also tithe.
Yeah.
So I tithe like that because the business and me, we are together, but we also separate.
Yeah.
I was paid salary, so I'll tithe my salary,
Yeah.
and the business will tithe pia kivyake.
How has that helped your business? The fact that you tithe. Well, individually, you people tithe, but as a business, for people who have businesses and they don't tithe from the business account, how has it helped you as SNL? How do you think it has helped you, the fact that you tithe?
I would say, okay, the first year, we were not sure whether to tithe or not, because we didn't know, do you tithe sales, do you tithe profit, do you tithe, what exactly happens?
Yeah.
And then also the first year, we were not on salary, my business. So ilikuwa tu ile kumenyamenya, unajiambia leo hata nijibariki na 5,000 hivyo. So there was no clear guideline of how to do things. So with time we went on learning, like now we put in a bit structure so that we were able to know, okay, so these are the sales, these are the profit and stuff like that. So it has really helped us because imetupea kwanza discipline ya pesa. Because you know you have to account for pesa yote yenye imeingia, so that the one that inabaki ya kutithe is exactly what is supposed to be there.
So you have to have a structure that tells you we have made X amount of money.
Yeah.
So that you're able to know
the
the
profit.
10% of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then imetupea to just a lot of favor because this is our third year in business.
Yeah.
And the milestones that we have hit, I totally do not believe tungekuwa tumefika hapo were it not for God.
Yeah.
Yani kabisa, I mean, when you look at it very critically, especially like last year when COVID hit, after this year, finances are tight for everyone. So people were like, kids shoes, unauzia nani viatu?
That's the last things.
I mean,
mtoto wa vile kiatu amekuwa
kids are at home. Wanaenda wapi?
They're
not going to school, they're not going to church. So unauzia nani viatu? You see, so for us, in fact, I say, if we didn't close last year, there's nowhere we are going. Because, yani, hey, there were all, what can I call them? All factors were against us.
Yeah.
But yani God sustained our business. We remained afloat, and when like our mall was closed for like 4 months. So when
so the physical shop wasn't.
Yeah, we were not operating for like 4 months.
Yeah.
So when even the shop came back and it was opened, still hapa pale we were able to sell and we kept the business afloat. We were able to pay rent, bills, you know, like nothing that I was doing in my life stopped.
Yeah.
So we say it's totally God's favor, kabisa.
You've mentioned something that that we've said before in this show. We've said one of the things that tithing does for you is that tithing gives you an acceleration.
Yes.
Because you've said the milestones that you've covered. You're only 3 years in business, but you've been able to go so far, and it would not have been possible if you were not given to God. So would you encourage anyone in business to tithe for the business?
I think it's important, and I would say at times it may not be perfect, because I wouldn't want to sit here and look like I like it's all perfect, like we do it so perfectly. No. We've also had our months where we are like, wow, this month was what, and tunajiambia wacha tuone venye next month itakuwa, to tithe next month, and you see it's not supposed to be that way, but there are those times we fall short, you know. But me personally, I would, and I know even my business partner would be for the same thought, I would really encourage, tithing is very important. It's just, it has a way of even protecting what you have, that even when, because people try to come bring your business down or copy whatever you're doing, or just something. We've had so many things, from people copying our names to people, you know, so many things. But there's a way that tithing just protects, ni kama ineka like a covering over your business. So it doesn't matter whatever other people are doing, it doesn't even get to you, because God has already he has already like put a hedge over the business. So for me, tithing, I would encourage sana.
I want us to talk about something else that is that I always talk about at Audacious Vibe. I always ask this question. Do you believe as Christians that we should make money and that we should be rich?
Of course.
And I know it looks like an obvious question. It looks like an obvious question. But the reason why I normally ask that question is because there is such what do we call it? There's a certain way that we have been accustomed to look at money, especially in church. And we've seen that most of the time the people who end up being rich in church also in certain aspects end up losing their faith. And so I always ask the people I interview, is it okay for us to be rich? Is it okay for us to make money? Is it okay for us to be wealthy? And then if it is okay for us, you've said, of course, if it is okay for us to make money, it is okay for us to make wealth, to be wealthy. How does you being wealthy, you making money, how do you feel it affects your relationship with God? Is there a positive correlation? I've gone economics.
Wow. I believe it's a good thing. I mean, money is good, but also it's not so good. But it is good. I mean, who doesn't want to drive a good car, to live in a good home, to take your kids to the best of schools? We all want that. So money is good. But I think money also reveals people's true character. And there's one thing my mother taught us. You see, when you are deep rooted in God, like ile kabisa, na unapatanga watu wengi, like you've said, you get money and unatoka church, you start living hii maisha ingine. But when you're truly rooted in God, money just comes to, you know, like boost you to continue doing God's work. Unaona. And I believe at times God has this, I don't know if it is scripture or ni wapi nilisoma. I think you're the pastor, you'll tell me kama ni scripture.
Yes, I will tell you.
Where it says that there's wealth that God has stored up for that's of the wicked. That's scripture. That's scripture,
the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. Yes, for the righteous.
Yes. So that means that there's wealth that God wants to give the righteous, but at times he just doesn't get who to give. You see, because anajua nikipatia Lea kiburi itamuingia, ataingiwa na maringo, na kanisa atatoka. And yet I want to grow this church. I want someone who I can trust anigroishe church. Na sometimes unapatanga mtu atapata your wealth, atoke church, aende huko akuwe worse, like okay, not everyone, but kuna wale it ends up being worse, you know. Na maybe angebaki church na grow church, maybe your wealth angebaki nayo. So I truly believe kukua grounded is very important. Such that when all these other things come, you remain standing. When you get wealth, it doesn't really change who you are. In fact, inakupatia like a more giving heart towards the people of God, the man of God, the church, towards helping people and stuff like that. So for me, being rooted. And I believe money is good and Christians need to make money. Ndio kazi ya Mungu iendelee.
And you are a young parent. You and Steve are young parents. You're in business. He's in agribusiness.
Yes.
What is it that you're doing for your children where money literacy is concerned? How are you making sure that your children grow with an understanding of I ask this question because, again, there are people who've made money and they have passed on and there is no continuity. So what are you doing different for your children? I know they are not, but what are you doing, or what would you do differently?
Well, now apart from the education policies and all those that we have taken for them, first of all, we make them understand what we do as the parents. You see, like in Atali's class, they had a career day, and the parents, the kids, when asked, they're like, hey, my mother is an administrator, or my dad is a what, you know, those noble, noble careers, titles. Yeah, so like we sat her down and we made her to understand what we do. So she actually knows.
You told her that, your father is a farmer.
Yes.
Yes.
And for her, it's very exciting, the fact that no one else in the class has a father who is a farmer.
Yeah.
So I would ask her, so what does your mother do? She says she sells shoes.
Yeah.
And I ask her, what type of shoes? She'll tell you, kids' shoes. So she knows.
Yeah.
She has been to the shop quite severally. Okay, it's just that now there's corona and stuff like that.
Yes.
But before, I would take them with learning, not even to learn anything, or to just for them
just
to experience, for them to experience just that environment, such that so that they grow up knowing it doesn't have to be a pilot, it doesn't have to be a doctor, it doesn't have to be those lines. It's okay, you can follow that, but it's also okay to do business.
It's okay if you become a farmer.
It's okay if you become a farmer. It's fine if you sell clothes. It's okay if you sell shoes. Because the perception that people have with business people is unatengenezanga shilingi mbili or shilingi. You see, when you tell someone, I sell kids shoes, the first perception would be, hey, this one is poor, aki hata nakaurumia, ana make anything kweli, you know, because that is how the society has framed that if you are not a lawyer or you're not like a doctor, you see, kuna zile professions zinajulikana kutengeneza pesa than others. So my personal desire for my children is for them to grow up knowing you can be, if you want to be a doctor, it's okay, but if you also want to be a farmer, if you want to be a hairstylist, it is still okay. Both professions are okay and they both make money. Just that know how to position yourself and just know you know, the right way of doing. If it's business, ni sawa. If it's then the right way of doing kama ni employment, it's still okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then most of the people have also lost their families in the quest for looking for money, you know, making S&L grow, making agribusiness grow. Most people have lost their families in between. There is no time. They don't have time. What do you do differently between chasing the shilling, the coin, and ensuring that you are there for your kids? How do you find a balance?
Delegate.
Yeah.
You are not a superwoman, you're not a superman, you're not a hero. Delegate. There are things that of course you can't delegate. But, okay, first of all, when a business is starting, you put in a lot of time.
Yeah.
Because bado hujapata, maybe you've not employed someone or stuff like that. So you find yourself spending most hours in the business. And even now, there are times I would find myself doing more hours than even an employed person. I'd leave the house at 6, come back at 9 p.m. and the whole day I'm at work, just working. We have stock, we're doing stock take, we are doing reconciliation, we are doing, and by the way, we are audited. We are usually audited. Yeah, yes. So, like, we have to keep our books clean. Maybe we have a small facility with the bank, so once in a while they come to check what we are doing. So you see, in those days, I do more hours. But you don't have all days are not like that, you see. So whenever we have time, like there are weeks that are slow. So in a week I can decide 3 days I won't go to work.
Yeah.
I'll just, because we have employed someone, and then I have also a business partner. So I would tell like my business partner, maybe you can go this week, you know, let me rest a bit, or she can tell me, let me rest a bit. Yeah, so at least now we have time.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, since it was just the two of us, it was just back to back. But now, once things stabilizes and you're able to get someone, it becomes easier.
So as I asked that question, you brought in something very interesting that I've heard before. I think I've just been forgetting to ask. It looks like you have your business is very well structured.
Yeah.
Because you've talked about the fact that you tithe. You've also talked about that you earn a salary from your business.
Yeah.
Tell people who are starting businesses, what's the importance? How important is a structure for a business? And for a person who's starting a small business worth 50,000, where do they start? Because in between the sales, the profits, what they need for themselves as the owner of the business, how do they balance that? You've even talked about auditing. You're only on your third year. The businesses which have existed, Kimani and Kimani, have probably existed for 50 years. They've never had the word auditing.
Yeah.
What's the importance of a structure?
When we started the business, we realized, you see, like I mentioned earlier on, tulikuwa tunamenya. Because unapata account iko na 20k tufanye.
20k ni mob.
20,000 ni do mob, na sio msha order stock. So mnajambia la, hii pesa haina kazi, iko tu hivyo tu. Tufanye nini? Shika 10, nipatie 10. Then stock and then hatuuzi, maybe ama sales ziko chini. Stock ina come. Hatuna pesa ya clear stock. You know. So with time we came to, I think we had not even put like a payment system. We had not put like a stock take system. Yani tulikuwa tuko tu. So we came to realize we were rotating. Money in, money out. Money in, money out.
So you were seeing a lot of money going round.
Tunaona tu pesa, tumeshika 20,000. It's just rotating.
So it looks like you're actually making money.
But you're not.
But you're not.
Yeah. So one day we sat down, we tukajiambia, you know what? We need a financial advisor. Because we can't continue like this. Pesa tunauza.
That was at year what?
That was at the end of, because that was 2019.
Yeah.
towards the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. That was towards the end of year 1 getting to year 2. We realized tukiangalia statement, pesa iko lakini iko lakini haiko. You get?
Yes.
So when we now sat with this financial advisor, tukakaa chini, we had a financial advisor and a strategist, people that we paid for.
Big words.
Yes.
Financial advisors
and a strategist.
Okay.
So tukakaa chini na wao. Wakatuambia, now this is where the loophole is.
Yeah.
This is where money is going to. So we were bringing most of our shipments by air. They told us, no, start bringing by ship. Just find a way ikuwe inaingia tu by ship. Forget about air, because air is too expensive. We had not seen that. So we changed the strategy.
Yeah.
You see. So number one, to pay yourself salary is very important, because you are working hard for that business. And if you don't pay yourself salary, you will eat plus the stock. Utakula di pesa ya stock.
Everything.
You will eat everything.
Na mnaona mko na pesa mingi.
You will eat, utauza leo 2,000 ujiambie ndo yangu ya sapa. Na sio umekula pesa ya stock. Uuze 500.
And it doesn't matter how small you are.
It doesn't matter. You need, hata kama unajiambia atakuwa najilipa salary ya 5,000. Salary is an expense. The same way you have an expense for rent, it is an expense.
Yeah.
It must be paid. Unaona. So for us now, after now we sat down with that guy and akatuambia we need to pay ourselves salary. So tukajiambia where the business is at, how much can the business afford as an expense towards our salaries, because we are 2 and we've employed someone else. So we came up with a figure that we felt was, of course ilienda ikiongezeka, but at the beginning we felt this was enough, so we started with that salary. So it has really helped, because unaona sasa we separate issues, and if at katikati ya month umesota, you ask for a salary advance.
Yes.
So
it's not that the business is yours, so
utaenda tu useme mimi nita withdraw 5,000
ujiandikie check.
No. You ask for a salary advance, unangoja one day unapewa your salary
and
advance.
that takes discipline.
It takes a lot of discipline, and it takes a business partner who you are in sync with. You see, so like in our business, I handle the finances, the finance bits, the accounting, all that. She handles the management of the page and all that. So our roles are very defined, because I would say more disciplined with money, and she's more disciplined with kupost, because hiyo pia inahitaji a lot of discipline. So once we set the structures very straight, if you want a salary advance, you make a request, you takes a day, it's processed, unapatiwa pesa yako. Na end month, it doesn't matter kama wewe ndio mwenye biashara, unakatwa. Because utasema sasa sijui nikatwe next month o nipatiwe full salary. No. It has to be deducted.
And audits, why are audits important for you?
Now, the reason as to why we are doing audit is because of where we want the business to go.
Yes.
We are just doing it for now. We learn how, like the discipline towards audits, what happens in audits and stuff like that, so that the day we grow to become a big brand, because I know there'll be also audits, because you see at that point, we won't be doing all these things. Sisi wenyewe, we'll have employed people to be running the business, you see. So when it gets to that level, it becomes so easy. We'll have known all these like loopholes, watu wanadanganyananga wapi kwa audit, watu wanacook figures wapi. We'll have known all these things. So
you will have established a culture.
Yes.
You already have a culture that even at the beginning you do audit. So it doesn't matter if you have a finance manager 5 years from now.
Yes.
They have found a culture that we do
going.
audits in this organization.
Yes.
Awesome. Now, we're about to close. Tell us, there's someone who's watching who probably wants to buy shoes, baby shoes, from S&L. Why should they buy shoes?
Okay.
Camera, me, Amani.
This why you should buy shoes from Baby Shoes Palace. Our shoes are very unique. It's not your typical type of shoe that you'll find you go to an event and like 10 other kids have the same shoe that your child has. They're very comfortable. We make sure that all, because they're kids, I mean, so our soles, the sole of the shoes are very light and they're flexible. But they how to know a good shoe ya mtoto, you have to bend the sole. So our sole, ungenembe ni bebe sample webe, but our sole is made of, they're made of rubber. So nikiatu, mtoto atava, apitishe to the 5th generation, ikika ivo, because it's made of rubber. So that's why you should buy from us, Baby Shoes Palace, on Instagram. We are only on Instagram. We're not on Facebook. And currently, we are also selling kids bags. So when you go to the page Baby Shoes Palace, there is a link for the other page. It's called SL Kids _bags. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've heard from Leah. If you need shoes, if you need baby shoes, if you need shoes for your kids, good shoes that will last for, you said how many generations?
To the 5th generation.
To the 5th generation.
Yeah.
Go to Instagram. Someone can make an order from Instagram, can they?
Yes, you can.
You can make your order from
We
Instagram.
deliver countrywide, by the way. We deliver to where you are.
And they deliver countrywide where you are.
Yes.
And maybe if you mention my name, maybe if you mention my name,
Be given a discount.
we haven't talked about that, but maybe if you mention my name, you know, you might be given a discount. You know, maybe
Yeah.
if you mention my name, you might be given a discount. On Instagram as
Yes.
Baby
Shoes Palace.
Shoes Palace.
Yes.
Physically, if you are in Nairobi, Moi Avenue.
Sour Mall, shop B16.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Leah.
Thank you for having me.
For joining us on Audacious Vibe. We have had an amazing conversation. I think you must come back because there is so much that we haven't talked about.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. We have had an amazing conversation. I hope you have learned something. Go to our Facebook page, Audacious Influencers, like that page. Send us a comment, tell us what you want to hear. Tell us, is there someone you want us to talk to? And then go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and you will be able to get bold, authentic, and godly conversations that touch on you as a young person in life and in life matters. Thank you so much. Until next time, my name is Titus. God bless.